Hello survivors and welcome to another Walking Dead Road to Survival video, and in this video we're going to be looking at the Christmas event character, and it is Christmas Governor, and as you can see visually it is kind of disturbing. I'll just go ahead and say that. He has got a little bit of Christmas like Santa Claus apparel on, you know, the jacket, the socks randomly. He's got like some sort of stripy thing around his leg. I guess that's to stop a cut or something like that for bleeding. But he's got grenade belt. He's camouflaged up as well. He's got the camo on his face and his hands. He's got the Santa hat. But then he's got the bag, the sack on his back with the lights on, but also his daughter. And if you do know the storyline around Governor, his daughter did turn into a walker, but he wanted to look after her still. And well, he's still doing that. There's lots of presents in that bag, but they do look kind of military based. You know, it looks like clips of ammunition. Maybe that's the hilt of a katana or something like that in there. So I'm not sure this is the Santa you really want to see coming down your chimney. I'm going to be honest. If we look on the left hand side, we can see confirmation of all of that camouflage all over his face. We also do see the very well-known eye patch that the Governor has as well. As an S-Class character with 30 veteran rings, he has 5,994 attack, 2,465 defense, and 4,248 HP. Now he is an alert character. As you can see, he is holding that pistol, and he is also considered a damage dealer, and that plays very well into that attack stat. Now if we check out the rush, it is called Slay Run. It has a 76 AP cost, deal 2,000 damage to a line of enemies. Those enemies get 100% heal reduction for 2 turns. Up to 2 enemies get dazed and confused for 2 turns. So the way this reads means obviously he's going to do huge amounts of damage to a line of enemies, which is great. The enemies that he takes down, or maybe just does a lot of damage to, will be 100% heal reduction. And then if he takes those characters down, it means he should confuse and daze 2 other characters, because it doesn't use it in the same line. Otherwise it would say those enemies get 100% heal reduction, confuse and daze for 2 turns, but it split it up on purpose. So once he's taken down 2 characters with his rush, the second half of his rush should control 2 others. We'll check this out. Okay, so we've got on to turn 2. I have commanded the Governor to do his rush. I should be able to take out this bottom line of characters. He's doing trait damage, and they are obviously strong characters, so they should be taken out. Now what should happen is both the leader of Lao Po and Jackie should get confused and dazed. It does look like it happens, and this is really, really nice. The only thing I'm seeing that's wrong is obviously there's no 100% heal reduction on the characters that were taken down. This should be corrected, because the same thing happened with S Class May, where she took out characters. They didn't get heal reduction on them, but they did correct it afterwards, because heal reduction should come in on the characters that are taken out by the rush. So the rush is very, very powerful, as long as that heal reduction does come in, and I think it will, because it was fixed for May. It's exactly the same issue that May's rush was facing. But the 2 enemies getting confused and dazed for 2 turns after the takedown, extremely powerful, very heavy damage dealing and controlling rush. Really, really, really a lot of power in this rush. Will he have much power elsewhere? Let's have a little look around. Now checking out the active skill is attack up, crit up, guardian shield and AP up. It does have an initial cooldown of 4, so not very quick at all, but it has a cooldown of 1, number of uses 5. This character and 1 teammate get 50% attack and 60 crit for 2 turns and guardian shield. This character gets 50% AP. This does obviously mean that if a fight lasts a long time, he will become a lot stronger. I kind of like this idea. It basically, if you're struggling against a really strong defense team, you effectively will get like a turn 4 buff, where you'll start getting a lot stronger in one of your characters. And this Governor, that rush seems extremely powerful. So very, very nice combo here. It does go to 1 other character, that little buff, but the fact that he gets it is the most important thing, because 50% extra attack on his already heavy hitting rush is going to be nuts. Okay, so we have got to turn 4. I've only done 1 basic attack just to get the Governor a bit of AP, just to show you that when he does his active, he will give himself the buff. He will get 50% of his AP, as you can see, and one other character will get the same deal, and it's gone to another effectively damage dealer in my team. It could have gone to Rick. It's random who the second buff goes to, but you can see that if I did rush with Axton in this point, he would get a 50% attack boost on that rush, which is very nice. If I rushed on the governor, I could command him on this turn, or I could wait to the next turn because it is a 2-turn buff, and he's just going to get an extra bit of damage output because of that. And like before, the 2 other characters that are alive in this situation are going to get confused and dazed. This character does not have an active skill, so there's no way to daze him. So I actually don't mind this active skill too much. I don't think it's going to be too effective for a lot of people who want to win quick, but this is going to be very helpful for people who have got maybe reduced rosters, not as powerful rosters, or they're coming up against extremely powerful defense teams. Eventually, you're going to be able to break through because of this. It has got a very quick cooldown as well, so you can pop it whenever you need to after that 4 turns, but a maximum up to 5. The 50% attack boost with that extra rush, it's going to basically make it so his rush goes from 2,000% to 3,000%. Now, this is not all that the governor offers. He does also have collateral damage too. When this character performs a critical attack on an enemy, they will deal splash damage, a 100% damage attack, to up to 3 adjacent enemies. The adjacent enemies do not gain AP from the damage. Now, this isn't actually that bad a specialist skill, and the fact that it's in the hands of an alert character means he can have a splash damage weapon, be fairly crit based with your build, and he can hit both of those at the same time. You can hit a splash damage on the weapon and a collateral damage, making it so that he can potentially do lots of damage to the surrounding enemies. So we're going to attack, and on the first turn, we're going to select the very first character, which is going to be Laupo. Central character means it can hit all the adjacent characters, and you see that the specialist skill of the governor lights up just to the below to the right of his name. If I unselect, you can see it doesn't, and then when I select a character where the collateral can actually happen, it lights up. Above his head, you should see green text of the effect that actually takes place. He has got a splash damage weapon in his hands, but we'll do the attack. Splash damage, it does hit. We'll try and do another one. Does it crit this time? It does, and that was the collateral. Because it crits, it's going to be the collateral. You can see a lot of damage is done to the surrounding characters, thousands of damage. The only downside is that it's not going to actually work with his rush, but you saw how powerful his rush already is, so it doesn't necessarily need it. I would mainly see collateral damage as that sort of little bonus cherry on top. You can get him fully offensive and not give him any crit, just all attack. And if he hits a crit, great. But if he doesn't, no big deal. If he does hit a crit, they're not going to gain AP, so there's no risk. It's not like Rampage where you could potentially give away rushes. So that's the big bonus. The AP that they were gaining in those little test attacks I did there were because of the weapon splash damage. Weapons generally always give AP on effects, whereas specialist skills don't always. In this case of collateral damage too, that's a nope. Now lastly, we will come to the weapon, but it is just a default weapon, so you're going to have to craft one to go in his hands. We were given a 1535 Mears pistol in a couple of the stores that you might have picked up, and that could be a good baseline weapon for this character. There aren't too many other weapons really worth going for. I would say either pure damage, lots of attack. You might want to have stun on defense, but lots of attack regardless. Or you could try and go for a splash damage weapon. But like I said, it would not take effect with his rush, so you could see it as less useful on a character like the Gov. There is an alert character in the game that does have a multi-hit rush that it would be effective on, and that would be Dylan. I think it would also be effective on Shaquille, but again, I think Dylan's probably the best character to go for if you want that sort of thing. I mainly see S Class Governor as that heavy damage dealing, take out a line of characters and control 2 more. And that is actually really, really powerful. You can get him to rush nice and quick, turn 2 command, even with just a basic AP on attack weapon and AP leader. Doesn't need anything too special to get that rush off turn 2. And it doesn't even really need to have like attack buffs and stuff. That 2,000 damage to a line of enemies is a crazy amount of damage. And there aren't going to be too many characters that are going to be able to survive that. This character looks good, and it's even better the fact that he's going to be part of the Christmas event. Bashing through the snow. More details on the event as it does come, but he looks like a very worthwhile character to work towards. Do give me your thoughts on the Governor. Are you happy that it's the Governor becoming the Santa character, effectively the Christmas character? I know there are a lot of people who are talking about other character potentially getting in there, but it is going to be S Class Christmas Governor. Please leave your comments down below though, guys. That is it in my video. I want to thank you very much for tuning in, and as always, keep on surviving, guys. Keep on surviving.